Screw it. I was gonna do something else, but is what it is. But hello everyone, hope you're enjoying your Thursday, and hopefully as per usual I can make it a little bit better. If you notice a little slight difference in my audio quality, then that is because, I got myself a new mic. Let's see, point the camera not at my crotch. That was actually a little awkward. Okay, I'm just gonna lift lift it up. There we go. The new EPOS mic, the B20. So yeah, look at that. Pretty nice, not gonna lie. Might be screwing up my audio here, but I've been having to fiddle with it, and yeah. So hopefully it's working well. If there's any problems, let me know, and I'll try and tinker with it a little bit more. But I'm kind of just flying off the seam of my pants. I opened it up about an hour ago, and I've been just setting up the stream ever since. So looking forward to it and really excited. But yeah, Pork, 15 months, absolutely huge, man. That's like, that pretty much means the Twitch channel's been around for 15 months. But sounds magical. Ooh. Now I don't need to wear my headset. I can just wear some simple earbuds, which is kind of a different feeling. But yeah, I mean, dude, it looks cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited. Did not think I'd ever kind of get one of these bad boys, but hey, what could I say? Pretty pumped. But anywho, stream started up a little bit early just so we can get into a couple of notes before the stream starts, before the race starts. Allow people to hear what's happening in past races and what we may potentially be looking at in this race. So, EPOS to the rescue, yeah. Without further ado, we shall start off with what took place last week. And last week we were in Mexico, and we saw Jin with the win, Scavney with another podium, Matt Rosie with this, I think, a second podium as well. Usually I do the schedule first, but to see, but here, we'll actually switch over to that. So yeah, there you can see Mexico last week, Spa this week, then we go to Portugal and Portimao next week. And like I said, Matt Rosie picking up his second podium, Scavney picking up back-to-back podiums, and Jin picking up his first win and first podium of the season. That is not what that is supposed to look like. Oops. There we go. Okay. So there you can see the full results there. Quick notes here, actually. I've got some fun little factoids. Dace is back-to-back fourth place finishes. After starting off a little slow. Cake Thomas has finished 5th 3 times of the last 5 races. Jacko, last 3 races, has gone 14th, 10th, and then 14th. And like I said, Scavney with back-to-back podiums. Other than that one race in Baku, he's finished in the top 6 every race. So Scavney starting off real hot. Hash slowed down a little bit, a couple back 10 finishes from him, and like I said, Jin starting to pick it up now with a win, with some very poor starts in the first 5 of the season. And what does that bring us to in the Drivers' Championship? Well, I'll bring it up for you. Here you go. You can see on the bottom right side of your screen there as well, you got Texas Speech in the Red Bull, as Scuba Steve has dropped himself down to Division 2. So Texas Speech coming up from Division 2 has got some work to do, so he doesn't get relegated right now. He's in a tough battle. He's got Matt Rosie, Jin, and Yolmir, Will Ans all ahead of him. All those are very fast drivers. So the relegation battle is just going to be absolutely freaking bonkers this season, and I feel bad for anyone that is going to be forced into being relegated, because we're going to see a couple of really, really quick drivers go down this season, and that's just not what you want to see, but it is what has to be done. But Ryan Rods leads the way, Scavney second, Hash third, Mystic drops to 4th, still recovering from his injury with Impossible Bacon, up into the top 5, and Elma Jacko sitting 6th, Cake 7th, JC Blackley still holding a top 10 spot. Dace, like I said, having some solid races in a row, in 9th, in Detail 10th, so this is just absolutely huge. Anyone with any poor races, any number of poor races, can really find themselves in trouble. But the constructor standings is an absolutely crazy tight one here. Mercedes leads away by 40 points, 40 some odd points, 40 blah blah blah, or 30 something, 37, fine, I'll do the math. ahead of Aston Martin. And Aston Martin only 1 point ahead of Alfa Romeo, with Alfa only 12 points up on Ferrari. And then from that point off, it's a little bit of a drop off to the rest of the pack, where Red Bull has not found some form and sits way back, over 100 points back of 9th place. But Division 1 isn't the only race going tonight. We also have Division 2, and this is the most recent scheduling results. And last week we saw J-Cast and Nikki with their first podiums. J-Cast getting the win, Nikki coming second, and NFS Lightwork continuing his hot form, and now sitting up at the front of the Division 2 standings as Texas Speech goes up, and a good little gap between himself and the rest of the field there. So he's looking really good. J-Cast moving up a couple of spots. Mitch Burns and Tiger NASCAR holding on to the final relegation or promotion positions, with Shelly the Turtle, Scuba Steve newly dropped down, and Forza Juve sitting in the relegation spots. But that, you know what, screw it, we'll get to the constructors right quick, and then we'll get on to those that are coming out onto the track. Just a couple people on outlaps right now, so not missing anything much, but there you go. McLaren leads the way, 1 point ahead of Mercedes, very tight, and then a major drop off to the rest of the field. Williams over 100 points back of second place. AlphaTauri within reach of Williams, and Alpine somewhat within reach of AlphaTauri, and then some. We have Alfa Romeo, Red Bull fairly close together, and there's quite a big split between a lot of the constructors this season. It's not as tight as Division 1 was. But anywho, without further ado, we'll be heading to Spa. My final hello before we get on to the race. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Be sure, if you enjoy, to come back. Oh, what am I doing? This is Mexico? Wow. First blunder of the night from Crash. There we go. There's Spa. Bada boom. So yeah. First blunder. Okay, you know what? Screw it. We'll get me off the screen. And there we go. Into qualifying. Hey Rake SGG, how you doing, man? Thanks for tuning in. Joining at a perfect time. We're just getting underway here, so hopefully you can stick around. You know, it's good because you don't know. Dude, I see your first time chat. Hey, can you turn your mic up a bit? It's a bit low. Okay, now see, this is a brand new mic for me, my guy. So I have no idea, but I appreciate the feedback. I'll turn it up a little bit. Don't get mad at me if it's too much, because I don't know exactly what I'm doing. So, yeah, just let me know if I need to turn it up or down or anything, or turn the sensitivity up. I'm still working out the kinks. But we're on with Murph and Sally right now. Murph has got to find a little bit of some consistent races here. Of course, he's not the quickest driver in the world, but he is very good race and finds himself moving up a lot of spots. It's fine. I know how it feels to try and do like, yeah. But yeah, you know, funny enough, if you're looking for a new mic at some point, why don't you check out EPOS? Exclamation point EPOS in chat will bring you right into a direct link to our commission store through EPOS Gaming. So pretty cool that we actually have that set up there, and I'm actually using the new EPOS B20, which is rated top 10 out of the highest quality streamer mics out there. I'll get that added in, and then that's it, man. I'll get on to the race here, but yeah, like I said, Rob McMurphy and Selly, he's he's one of the more quality, or you know, race pace drivers that we have, opposed to just straight qualifying pace throughout the entire shindig. And he's going to come over the line. Usually we see him in the back 10 in qualifying. Anything up in the top 10 is a win for him. Alfa Romeo over next. Might have Yulmir. No, I think that's his teammate, Jacko, coming on the final bus stop chicane. And Jacko should beat out Murphy like he does. Dace should overtake both of them. Looks like a Mercs into the pit. Ryan Rods may be hard done by here. And he still takes pole. The first McLaren of Matt Rosie sneaking it away from Ryan Rods. Sneaking it, actually, what am I saying? He beat him by 600ths of a second here. Or 6/10 of a second. And now his teammate Smith Pell going into the 143s. After these next few drivers come over. So that's Kate Thomas on an out, so we can check what tires everyone's on right now. Is that Olmier next? So that's a Williams, so probably Super Ninas. So we'll stay on board with the Olmier, entering the final chicane here. I'll bring up my track map so I know where I'm going. And Yolmir, of course, did have a win a couple weeks ago, was leading the race last week, and found himself in a tough situation with the man who just comes over the line in 5th, Will Ans. Jin in 9th, and I think Impossible Bacon next over here. And he's actually, sorry, just starting a hot lap. And we're about to get our first time set by an Alpha, and we've already lost an AlphaTauri. That may be from retirement. Helg as well retires in the pit. Sui going over 11th. Aero Racing Design filling in for Mystic Joker this evening, his turn. A normal Division 2 driver, but with the vacancy of one of our top guys. Aero Racing Design has got big boots to fill, and we'll see if he's going to be able to do it. Where's Ninas? Ninas is invalid in Sector 2. Hash as well, invalid. Kate Thomas is coming through here. Now you can take this one and absolutely pin it to the floor. Now it can all go wrong at this turn here. Does a good job, Cake. Good entry and exit speed. And exit the turn and goes into 4th, so that's pretty good for Cake. Cake can have a poor qualifying but still finish high up, so nothing wrong with that to start for Cake. And then, of course, Spa, the longest track on the calendar, and actually is technically illegal to the FIA guidelines. No track is allowed to be over... Oh, Christ. I used to have this stat on lock, but I think it's 7.5 kilometers. And it's... Christ, what is... Okay, wait. It'd be easy to search up how far. Okay. It is... Okay, no FIA F1 track is allowed to be over 7 kilometers. Spa is 7.004, so 4 kilometers too long. And then it gets weirder. Oh, look at... Oh, you used the safety car emote. Funny enough, we're actually coming out with some brand new emotes. We just got approved for more emotes. So we're having a contest right now in our Discord for a chance to come up with one of our new emotes. And if your emote gets chosen, then it goes into a draw where all the admins and commissioners of the league will vote on the top 2. And out of those top 2, both of those selected will get a piece of Midwest merch, which the store just closed, so it is hard to get now because you can't get it. So yeah, we've got some emotes on the way, should be here by hopefully next week, although the contest is set to run until next week, so we'll see. If we don't get many more submissions, we might close it early and try and get those emotes up for the Twitch channel for then. Scabney, like I said, with back-to-back podiums here, looking to make it a turkey of podiums in bowling terms. Oh, I didn't even notice Texas Speech went 2nd. So coming in hot is the newly promoted Division 2 driver. He's got just over a season, or just over half a season to work himself out of relegation, and then next season have a potential shot at a solid place in the championship. Now, like I said, we are, of course, without Mystic Joker, who is our back-to-back champion, the man who has set the record in Midwest F1 League for most race wins in a row, in Division 1 that is as well. And we have a lot of quality drivers, but this guy is on another level. And he is now under a lot of fire with the quality of drivers that are coming up into Division 1 as they are moving up through the ranks. We've got a Haas about to come over the line, and a Ferrari overtaking an Aston Martin. Recast, do you hear much background noise? If you do, let me know. Hot laps. I think Mercancelli, no. Smith Bell. Haas. detail. No, Jin's still on mediums. So maybe... No, he's into the pit. Detail it is. Alright, let's ride out a full lap here on board with detail. Now, coming down the 4 kilometer short pit lane, so that's another thing, is that the pit lane is supposed to be at least 1 kilometer long, but the pit lane in Spa is 996 kilometers long, which is funny how it's, or 996 kilometers long, 996 meters long, so that's 4 meters short of a full kilometer if you're American. And it's funny enough, it's 4 meters short of a kilometer, and is also 4 meters too long of a racetrack, but it is, of course, FIA approved, and it's historic. So, I mean, you can let some things get away with things if they're grandfathered in, of course. But we'll continue on here with detail. We're working our way through the back bit of Sector 2, taking this fast left-hander of turn 10, the double left-hander of turn 10 and 11, then into that quick braking chicane of 12 and 13, trying to keep as much pace as you can. You can get up on this curve a little bit, but it is dangerous. Detail does not opt to do so, having not set a time quite yet. And we finished Sector 2 with a purple Sector 2 from Detail, so that's quite the feat right there. Of course, a driver that was promoted from Division 2 last season. And we come into the blazing speed of Sector 3. Pretty much you can pin it about over 70% of the time in this sector before you hit this hard braking zone. And the bus stop chicane, famously known as swinging through the final couple turns, 18 and 19. Doesn't get much of the curb on the exit and comes over the line in 14th place, and he is looking to get a little bit more out of there in the 144s. We have 5 drivers in the 142s, and we have 7 drivers in the 143s. I don't actually know if it's 7, that was just a wild guess. 2, 4, 6, 7. That was a really good guess. I think that maybe, no, well, Aero Racing is out of fuel. Currently sitting 4th right now, so ARD is looking pretty good. Now Texas Speech, I didn't get any of his splits here, but he's coming into the final bus stop chicane. He has moved down a couple of positions. Ryan Raj kind of shuffled him down, as well as Dace and Arrow. But he comes around the final turn, cannot, oh, just barely jumps up ahead of Aero Racing, and that will move him up another row on the starting line. Now Jin's yet to come out for some softs. We'll go to the fastest tire. Jin has gone on mediums for quite a while, and then very late changes to softs. So right now qualifying about sitting as you can expect it. Seeing a couple of the quick drivers up top, Matt Rosie, Ryan Rods, Dace having a good qualifying, although it's no surprise to see him up in the top 5 from time to time. Texas Speech and Aero Racing Design I would not have pegged for being that high up right out of the gate, but you know what? They're having solid qualifying, so you can't knock them at all. Now here we go, we're looking at Scavney. Another driver that you can probably say not the best qualifying pace, but then when he gets into the race, he turns into a different animal and just is overtake after overtake and position gain after position gain. If you're new to the league, then you will not understand this reference, but he is the better version of Pork Chops, and I will say that to the day I die. And Scavney, I think, appreciates that, as well as I think Pork Chops appreciates me acknowledging him in a positive manner. So it's a win-win-win, really. You know what, this mic is kind of like one of those things that's like so new and so cool to me. I just want to keep touching it, but like there's no point to me touching it. Oh, and Detail has retired. Scavengers invalid. I'm running into the bitter death here of this qualifying. And drivers should make their way out pretty quick out of the pit if they want one more shot. Texas Speech and Jin still need to come around the pit. Jin, of course, needs to still set time on some softs, and he has fitted some softs now. Currently sitting 9th on the mediums. Set up for a different strategy, but you may get knocked off by a couple of these drivers. Impossible Bacon has yet to really set a proper time. He's also on the medium, so he should be able to overtake Jin on the softs. But Spa, you know, can make for a crazy qualifying and a crazier race. If you look to last season, where the race didn't really take place, it was mainly the qualifying with George Russell's impressive P2. Here, how about I'll bring up the history of Spa in this league. So the last time we were in Spa was all the way back in season 3. So the last season of a division, or of F1 2020. Race week 6. So last time we were at Spa, Matt Rossi taking fastest lap, or I believe he was improving his fastest lap. Impossible Bacon invalid, but he'll be able to go around once more. Jacko invalid, so he's setting up for another one. Yolmir starts another hot lap. Cake Thomas coming around for one more. Dace coming around for one more. A lot of drivers are retired here. 2, 4, 5 drivers are retired. This will be it for Scavney. What can Scavney improve his time? Maybe into the 142s? No, he actually loses quite a bit of time in Sector 3 there. And Jin now starts his hot lap, and he's following Scavney, but Scavney goes off deep out the back. Texas Beach going around once more. Hash as well. Mercancelli's into the pit, so that'll be it for his qualifying. Who is the first to come over? I believe it's Ryan Rods, being followed by Smith Pell. And the qualifying timer is done, so everything that is to be had in this final attempt will be set in stone. So we're going to start with Ryan Rods, go over to Smith Pell, and then one of the Haas's, I believe it's Will Ans. And then things are going to be flying. We have an Alfa Romeo and a little bit of heat in Sector 2, but Ryan Rods comes over the line. Can he take pole? No, he cannot. Matt Rossi currently holding. Smith Pell, teammate of Matt, improves up to 7th. On board with Will, and he's into the pit. His teammate Impossible Bacon as well cannot improve. He's invalid. Yolmir now, and Matt Rossi actually pulls off. He is close. He has shut down his lap. Yolmir was on pace for such a good race in Mexico last week, but couldn't quite get it done. He jumps up into 3rd. And his teammate Jacko goes 7th. Cake Thomas around the final turn, 3/10 up on his time, and can't improve. Actually, he jumps up into 7th. We got Dace now. He can't improve. Jin outside the top 10, and he is invalid. So Jin's going to start 12th. Quickly, Hash, Texas Speech still stays 3rd, and Hash the final, and to set his first time goes all the way up into 6th. And Scavney, I believe, is out of fuel. So yeah, that brings end to our qualifying. And a big surprise, Jin is going to be all the way back in 13th place. Pole time for Division 3 at 1:43.115. So wow, Division 1 was looking hot here. 1:43.115, that'd get you 11th. shoot, what was I doing? I have it. There we go. So last time we were in Spa. Wow. So Matt Rosie finished 9th. Hash was 13th. A lot of similar names and some different ones on the list, but we'll go through the qualifying order once more. We'll see Matt Rosie leading the way, up by Ryan Rods in 2nd. Texas Speech in 3rd, alongside Yolmir improving with his final lap. Dace looking to go for another top 5 this race, with Hash looking to regain form. Aero Race and Design trying to find some consistent points for the Alfa Romeo team, with Mystic Joker out and Cake Thomas in 8th with a quality qualifying. El Majacco and Will Answer was final in the top 10. We go to the back half here and we see Smith Pell, Scavney, Gin, Impossible Bacon, Detail, Murph and Selly, Sui, Helg, and who's the last one? Who did I miss? Whatever, it's okay. But yeah, last time we were here in Spa, Mystic Joker took the win. Gin to win it came 2nd. Tiak no longer races with us, finished 3rd. Cake Thomas 4th, and Smith Pell 5th. A couple of notable names there as well. Scavney 7th, Impossible Bacon 8th, Matt Rosie 9th, Sui 11th, like I said, Hash 13th, Yolmir 14th. Helg finished two laps back in 17th, Super Ninas 16th, and a DNF from JC Blackley. So those that are left in Division 1 from all the way back in Division 3 have some familiarity with each other racing at this track, and we'll see if that has any sort of play into today's race. But let me see. I think I went through everything, did I not? I'll bring up the track picture again with my gorgeous face chilling inside of it. But hello everyone, thank you once again for tuning in, and there's a good quality look at Spa-Francorchamps. I can bury myself up in the corner there. And like I said, next week we'll be in Portugal. Ooh, that sounds sexy. Thank you there, Bacon. Good luck, man. We'll be in Portugal or Portugal, or pork and cheese, if you will. I have some Portuguese friends. I call them pork and cheeses all the time, so it's not racist. I don't think so, but whatever. Yes, Portugal to come next week, and you can see for yourself. It's a very fun track, a very good addition to the game and to the calendar. Offers some quality overtaking and offers an area that is very tough to work through, and that of course is turn 8. If you're here next week, you will see a lot of difficulties from drivers in turn 8. So we'll see if that happens next week. But once again, we'll look at the schedule for the rest of the season. Now we are not yet halfway through, but this is race week 7. So after next week in Portugal, we'll be halfway through season 5 of the Midwest F1 League, starting all the way back in F1 2020. This is now our second game of existence. So we're doing pretty good. 7 divisions deep now. We run races Monday to Friday. Over 200 drivers in the Discord. Yeah, we're doing pretty well. We have a Twitter, we have an Instagram, so go check those out. And exclamation point socials if you're interested. And as well as a YouTube page where all of these VODs will get posted up after, as well as our Division 2 race, which is casted by Money Matt. And he posts that up to the YouTube page as well. So if Division 1 on Twitch or on YouTube isn't enough for you, then be sure to go check out Division 2 as well. We try and bring as much as we possibly can. And you know what? I think next week I'm actually going to go down to Division 2. I think I want to cast Division 2 again. Or maybe even Division 3. That sounds a little fun. Might be doing that if we can get another caster, but I don't want to. Might leave Division 2 uncasted. We'd like to get every division casted, but it is very difficult to find casters that will do it for free, to be honest, and you can't blame them. It's a majority, or it's a good 2-hour session of their night that is taken out towards casting, so you can't really blame them at all. And we appreciate all the help that we get from all the casters that have worked through our league from time to time. and it does not go unnoticed. And if we could pay, honestly, we would, but unfortunately, we're not at that place right now in the league. Maybe someday, and hopefully someday soon. And we can only get there with the help of the people. And if you do enjoy, be sure to follow and like and all that good stuff. And everything that does come to the league goes back into the league. And I don't get paid, and I'm fine with that. I accept that, and I'm happy what I'm doing, and I don't need to get paid right now. But I'm just playing. Maybe one day we'll see. But we have a long way to go, and it's a journey, and the journey's been really fun, and we've met a lot of good people, and a lot of awesome people have come through the league. So thank you to everyone. But without further ado, we are in Spa. Matt Rosie leads us. Ryan Rod's in second. What is to come? Can Texas Beach get maybe a position into turn one? And will Matt Rosie hold off? Super Ninas and JC Blackley all the way in the back of the pack, so we'll see what they can do off of race start. But right now we have Ryan Rod trying to go around the outside on Matt Rosie through turn one. Matt Rosie does a good job of holding him off, but now they're going to drag out of turn one. Aero Racing Design losing position to Hash. And Hash up into 6, and Matt Rosie claims top spot as we come in through Eau Rouge, and Texas Beach is into the slipstream. Matt Rosie may be under triple, but he's looking like he's got a pretty solid straight line speed setup. I'm not sure if Ryan Rods is using any of his ERS. May not have. We'll pull up the position changes quickly. And Super Ninas up 4 spots. And we'll drop back here, and we'll see a battle coming through turn 7. And it looks like Super Ninas has a spot on Helg. Helg starting for the mediums. Dace getting the spot on Texas Beach. Will jump up and check that one out. And Texas Beach goes down the inside line on Dace. And he's going to be in 3rd place. Yolmir right on the gearbox of Dace. Dace may be under a little bit of trouble here. And Yolmir looking extremely dangerous right now on Dace. And Dace is able to hold off. Not really an area on track to pass, so Yolmir's going to have to follow him through. Aero Racing Design, after being re-overtaken for position by Hash, is now still sitting in his gearbox. Over halfway through the first lap, we're into Sector 3. Matt Rosie nearly a full second up on Ryan Rods. And we've already lost Helg. Helg's out of the race. First one to go. And yep. I don't think that'll bring a safety car. But that is quite unfortunate to see Helg go down so quickly. Impossible Bacon and Smith Pell as well getting into it. And that brings out a VSC. So couldn't catch any sort of glimpse on that crash there. And we'll wait for this VSC to end. And a couple of drivers early into the pits. So Murph and Selly going mediums for another set of mediums, and Detail going from soft to medium as well. Trying to get a cheap pit stop. And a full-on safety car actually comes out. That's not what you want to see. That race. Oh, that is silly. That is so silly. That's just waste laps. But here we go. While we wait for the safety car to come in, let's check out what's happening in the Midwest F1 Hockey Fantasy League. Still, Matt Rosie's Dustards lead the league at a record of 12-3. Guido's Garage is sitting at 9-6. The Hartford Whalers at 8-7. The Vermont Mountaineers at 8-7. NFS Light Work at 8-7. Marky Mark Sports at 7-8. Allison Cowtippers at 5-10. And Honky Tonk Pionk a Tonk sitting at the back of the pack at 3-12. Right now the matchups. See Guido's Garage looking to take down NFS Light Work with a far larger projection. Marky Mark Sports looking to even up the records with Vermont Mountaineers, currently leading it and looking to hold out the rest of this battle. Hartford Whalers looking like they're going to take down Matt Rosie's Dusters, and and take a little bit of close that gap a little bit for Guido's Garage and Hartford Whalers on Matt Rosie's Dusters, and the battle for 7th and 8th, Honky Tonk Pionkatonk is losing right now to Allison and Cow Tippers, and it doesn't look like Honky Tonk Pionkatonk is going to be able to make up the ground to close the gap on the last place in the league. So that's where our Midwest F1 hockey pool stands. And you know what? The draft was fun, but some of the guys kind of fell off the wayside as the season somewhat progressed. So, I mean, you can't blame them. Fantasy hockey's not for everyone. Here, how about let's put this up here as well. Raise Energy also, a great sponsor for the league. If you are in need of a zero sugar, zero crash energy drink, then this is the energy drink for you. If you drink any sort of energy drink, then this one is far healthier for you. Now, I'm not a doctor at all, so I cannot back that statement one bit. But zero sugar and zero crash sounds a whole heck of a lot better than the other energy drinks where you know you're going to crash after. And I can attest to not crashing when I drink Raise Energy. It is an odd feeling, not going to lie, but it is really nice to know that I'm not going to want or need to take a nap. Raise Rebellion members, yo, let's go. Yeah, next time you're buying Raise Energy, MWF1 and MWF1 at checkout for 15% off your order if you are in need of any sort of Raised Energy. Hey, there you go, the Midwest F1 logo. So anywho, Marikas, how'd you find the league, man? It's good to see you being very involved in the chat. I appreciate that. But the safety car has got the confirmation that it will come in. So with that being said, we'll get right back to it. And has Matt Rosie already let loose? May have caught a couple of drivers off. Ryan Rods did make up a little bit of ground in the final turn, but Dace is over a second back of Texas Beach, and Jin over a second back to Will, who has Smith Pell over a second back to Jin. Elma Jacko trying to come around the outside on Sui. Sui yet to pit for mediums. Jacko already coming in the pit for a fresh set, and he goes all the way around the outside of turn 1 and looks like he's got the move done just before we head up into Eau Rouge. Super Ninas with the first time penalty of the night. Hash getting the position on Yolmir. Yolmir has to slot back into 6th place. Still have yet to have DRS. This is our second real lap to have taken place this race. So hopefully we can find a little bit of consistency in this group here, and we can go. Oh my god, why did I open my mouth? Murph and Sally spins out, and around turn 6 we'll get on board with him, see if there's any damage. No, he seems to be fine. Might have some side pod or underbody damage or all that good stuff that drivers hate to hear. Aero Racing Design actually came into the pit, and he put on some hard, so you imagine he's going to try and go the rest of this race on that, but 22 laps makes up Spa, and these are very long laps. It's going to be a lot of talking for me today. Now, similar to the initial race start, Matt Rosie has gained that, or has increased that gap between himself and Ryan Rods to just under a second. He's looking like quite the force to be reckoned with here this evening. Yolmir just falling back from Hash as Hash tries to close that gap to Dace. Now, the position changes are going to be all over the board with the drivers coming into the pit so early. But wow, it is actually quite impressive what Matt Rosie's doing here. He's increasing that gap to Ryan Rods. And they're both on similar amounts of ERS, so it's not like Matt Rosie is absolutely straining his battery deployment. You're calling Murph for having this. That's quite the bold assumption there, Broadsword. Now I feel there's a little bit of troll in there. So I did... Oh, what? I did add some new rewards and challenges using the MIDI bucks, is what they're called. And they don't have to be called that. And if you guys don't like that, then let me know, and I will change it. But you can see for 2000, was it crashes face cam over the action for 1 minute. And of course, if you don't know who I am, I'm Crash McQueen. Make Crash not talk for 1 minute. 1 minute. Need to fix that. That's pretty poor. Crash must swear every sentence for 5 minutes. That's dangerous. That's 10,000. And give Crash an order to obey for 5 minutes as well. So, a couple of things that you can make me do if you save up enough of those MIDI bucks. So, and the only way to do so is to tune in as much as we stream. Which, you know what, I must say isn't a whole heck of a lot, but we are working at trying to get this this Twitch alive as much as possible, but it is a difficult task. So you know what, one way to know whenever we go live is to hit that notification bell. You know, personally for me, to watch other streamers, I don't do it, so I don't blame you if you don't do it for us. But hey, you know what, if you are that committed and you really are enjoying the stream that much, which would be an absolute pleasure to hear if you are, but no harm if you're not. But if you are, then hey, notification bell is there for a reason. So why don't you get that bad boy smack and then come tune into us every Thursday and Tuesday as we go live, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. And you can come hang out with me and catch these brilliant races that are happening every week in, week out. Great stuff to see. And here we go. Might have an overtake up in the cards here. Cake Thomas getting a little bit of lag spikes there. He's following the slipstream of Yolmir. Might be looking to do something into the bus stop chicane. Has actually held off the ERS. Yolmir goes hard to defend the inside line, and Cake does not opt to go for an overtake. And Yolmir taking quite a sharper line through the chicane than does Cake. The top three are all slowly separating from each other. And these top seven is looking real quick. Sector 2 yellow flag, Murphy is not looking too hot. Broadsword, you jinxed on my guy. Oh, when we go through, Rouge and Cake Thomas was able to get past Yolmir, and I think Hash got past Dace as well. This top seven, these guys are looking really good right now. And Jin, like I said, Jin won the last time that we were here in Division 1. Super Ninas got back through on Smith Pell, and we have a nice little pack in 10th place here, as well as a nice pack for 4th place. And Will Ans and Jin are kind of caught in no man's land, but Jin's trying to close that gap into the pack for 4th. And Impossible Bacon sitting at the back of this pack. Go check out the tires. And Impossible's on 3-lap old medium. Smith Pell up at the top. Actually, sorry, Super Ninas leading this pack is on some 6-lap old soft. So these things should start coming down pretty quick here. Maybe around lap 8. And oh no, Dace loses it. We'll get on board with Super. And there we go. Dace is right into the wall. Exact same position that we saw Helgen. I'll get one more peek at that. And yeah, Dace hits the front right wall coming around turn 15. And that's another driver out. And rank recast, that's on you this time, my guy. You jinxed the whole lobby when you said that. And Dace was the unfortunate man that that took the heat for that, and really tough to see. But you know what? That's good news for Murph and Sally. Your prediction there, Broadsword, might come back to fruition here. Murph and Sally will be able to catch up with this pack. Virtually everyone pits. Smith Pell is the only man to stay out from his initial tire compound that he started this race on. Scavney, El Majacco, Impossible Bacon, Aero Racing Design also staying out. And we have a strategy alteration between Matt Rosie and Ryan Rods. Matt Rosie was leading this race somewhat handedly, has opted for the hards. And Matt Rosie is definitely gone with a different strategy. Yolmir also hears that shout and decides to go on to the hards as well. So why don't you get those safety cars in the chat, eh? What emotes are follower emotes again? I can't remember. Did I make the Midwest logo a follower emote? This mic almost looks a little bit too professional for a degenerate like me to have. Not gonna lie. So that's probably all the pit stops that we're going to get from the safety car. Murph and Sally should catch up by the end of next lap, and the safety car will come in, and we'll get back to it. DRS was only open for a few laps before we lost Dace, and Dace's hot streak comes to an end. Like I said earlier, Dace was on a nice little streak there, finishing 4th place in 2 straight races, and had a 7th place before then, but a DNF here is going to hurt him. And he's now... Oh, Yolmir and Super Ninas actually come in for some hards really late. And Murph and Sally is going to get a free position back. And looks like he actually gets a free dose position back. So Murph and Sally not out of this race. The safety cars have come back and brought him into this bad boy. But be sure to stick around after the race and hear what the drivers have to say from what was Spa and race week 7 of season 5 in the Midwest F1 League. Usually they bring a lot of insight into what was going through their minds and what their strategies altered throughout the race. And it's always good to hear what they have to say. And if you have any interest, be sure to stay and tune in after. It takes me about 4 or 5 minutes to get the guys in. Usually it's the podium and the hardest charger. Hardest charger in our league stands for driver of the day. With that being the guy who sets a qualifying pace and picks up the most positions throughout the race. So if you have any interest in that, you want to hear what the drivers have to say, or if you want to ask them any questions, then stick around and let me know what you're interested in. Oh, the safety car and the snake. Well done, well done. But here we go. Now Smith Pell, the other McLaren, leads us after this safety car. He's taking a sweet time. It'd be nice if I could get on board with the safety car. And there you go. There's the notification up at the top that you can't exactly see because that big old EPOS sponsored banner is just hanging out there. But the safety car is in this lap. Let's see what Smith-Pell does. He's waiting for the safety car to escape. Now, a couple weeks back, or a month I believe, in Baku, there were some difficulties. There were some real struggles from the safety car restarts, nearly ending in quite a few DNFs from accordion starting, was what we heard, where you put down the gas and then you slow up and then the whole pack catches up and knocks up into each other, and it's a destructive slinky, really. But we're back underway. Texas Beach was already under pressure from Hash. Hash gets a little bit of a kick coming out of that turn, was able to snap back straight, and we were back racing onto lap 10. We're going to have 13 full laps to go, including this one. Smith-Pell leads us right now, still yet to pit. Scavney tucked in behind, 3/4 of a second back. Jacko as well within a second. Impossible Bacon as well on the same tire strategy as the two drivers ahead, and that is huge. We see Matt Rosie picking up a penalty very early, and he's trying to close that gap to Aero Racing Design. So Matt Rosie has got to try and overtake some drivers here if he can on these hards, but it will be really tough with all these other drivers on the mediums. They will, of course, open up at the end of the race when everyone else is getting all slow from those mediums, but right now the hards are a very difficult choice. Cake overcooks it a little bit into turn 8, gets overtaken by Jin, who's on some fresh softs, looking to make up some moves real quick here, and Elma Jacko already a second back of the two ahead. Scavney and Smith-Pell breaking off into the distance. Murphy and Murphy and Super Ninas might have gotten into it there. You did see a position change between the two drivers there. I didn't catch what exactly happened. Man, I hate this track. I wonder why you're in the chat so early, Bork. Do you hear any background noise echoing at all when I'm not talking? You do? There's background noise. No background noise. Because it says on the bar that it is picking up a little bit of something, but I'm not sure. But here we go. Matt Rosie would really like to overtake Aero Racing here. He's doing a good job not letting Ryan Rods get any headway on him, and Aero Racing looking to try and go down the inside line of Impossible Bacon. We'll stay on Matt Rosie's board here, but it was actually Impossible Bacon had the straight line speed in the end, but Impossible is 3 seconds back. I can only hear the cars when you don't talk. Oh really? Okay, maybe I'll... If I turn the audio up, is that better? Or is that just like too loud? Everything's just loud. Jin gets position on Hash, moves up into 9th place. Impossible Bacon still having to hold up. You can turn the cards back down. Just a little. Scavney now closing that gap to Smith-Pell. Smith-Pell's 10-lap old mediums might be running a little bit dry here. Texas Beach going around the outside. That's a very impressive move. If we can get that done, has to go right off, and by doing that, he swings back on up ahead of Ryan Rods. And Ryan Rods, in a really tough spot, and swings back across his teammate. I don't know how he didn't get DNF'd there. It looks like Aero Racing Design has spun out around the final turn. He has to wait for everyone to swing past for him to re-enter track, and that is really unfortunate. And more importantly, Ryan Rods is second back of Matt Rosie, entering the first time in DRS. Will he be able to get back in the DRS detection? I don't think he did, no. But Murphy gets a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Scavney up into first place. Overshoots the braking zone a little bit. Texas Beach leapfrogs up over Ryan Rods. And this is all very good for Matt Rosie, as he tries to break away and stay up in pace with the rest of the pack. And Jin picks up his first penalty of the evening. You know, Matt Rosie is really showing some pace here. And we'll see if Smith Pell may come into the pit pretty soon. Did he start in softs there, Smith? No, he has yet to come into the pit, so Smith is going to try and ride these for a little longer. But it'd be really helpful if Matt Rosie could clear one of these drivers soon, because now he's got Texas Beach close the gap back on him. And Matt Rosie seemingly being held up by this pack ahead, even though being on some harder compound tires. And maybe time for him to get a little bit aggressive here, and he is right on the tail of Impossible Bacon. And Impossible gets just enough of a good launch out of the final turn and is able to hold on to that position. But Matt Rosie really hounding him, looking for an overtake. There's quite a bit of ERS saved up here, and right into the split stream of Impossible Bacon, and takes Eau Rouge absolutely beautifully, and is now right alongside Impossible Bacon. Impossible just has DRS to save him here, and he's into the slipstream of Jacko, but Matt Rosie pulling down alongside him and dives down the inside line, but Impossible swings around deep, but Matt Rosie looks to switch him back and can't quite get around him. Impossible Bacon holding him off. And now Matt Rosie once again looking down the inside line of turn 8, but Impossible Bacon closes the door. And Matt is just absolutely hounding 4th place right now. But Impossible Bacon is not shivering on his boots at all, showing very high quality defending there, and is forcing Matt Rosie to stick back into 5th. But still Matt with a lot of ERS saved up, and Impossible Bacon is lost quite a bit. Matt Rosie has him about doubled here, and these drivers don't know that, but we have that direct view. And Matt Rosie got a little bit too heavy on the throttle there, was able to save it, but he's got Texas Speech just all draped all over the back of him. But he's got the pace to probably be able to extend that gap just enough to not feel the pressure from Texas Speech, and as well to try and close that gap to Impossible Bacon. And these are some very important laps here. If Matt Rosie's able to clear Impossible, and that makes things very difficult for Texas Beach. And Matt Rosie kind of goes into somewhat of an offensive line there, with Texas Beach right on the gearbox of him as well. And exiting the turn, Matt Rosie not as close this time onto the back of Impossible Bacon. But importantly speaking, Scavnian's pulled a major gap on Smith Pell here. And Smith Pell maybe actually slowing up this entire group here. Impossible is really low on ERS. Texas Speech picks up a penalty, which is huge now. Ryan Rod's right now on the leading strategy without a penalty, but Matt Rosie finally clears Impossible Bacon. Elma Jacko goes through on Smith Pell. We're probably going to see Smith Pell just let Matt Rosie through pretty quick here. Our team orders are going to come into play here for the McLarens, where Smith Pell going to try and close that gap. Smith Pell goes a little deep, and Matt Rosie just wants to creep by. He doesn't want to let Jacko go too far ahead. And Smith, you got to pull off here, my guy. He's still just within DRS, but these mediums are starting to fall off for him. And it's about time to let your teammate go through here, Smith. No, but to be fair, Smith hasn't allowed Jacko to get too far ahead. But you can just tell Matt Rosie's just waiting to get through. And maybe on this straight here, or on this long swooping left-hander, maybe the time. But it still doesn't look like Smith Pell wants to give that position up. And yellow flag in Sector 2. Aero Racing Design once again loses it. He's not DNF, still on track. Matt Rosie accidentally bumps his teammate a little bit too much, and now Smith goes into the pit. Man, if you're going to the pit, you should just let your teammate through. Matt Rosie just gets DRS, but he's over 1.5 seconds out of Elma Jacko here. Now Matt Rosie is doing as much as he can to try and get back within DRS to Jacko, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And now Jin gets a really good run out of Eau Rouge into the slipstream. And looking at the inside line on Matt Rosie, And this is not what Matt Rosie wants, but it's okay. Jin's a very fast driver. He can just follow him through the field. How many safety cars so farmers? Well, if Midwest was a safety car farm, then we'd have quite the lot to sell. But right now, 2. Ooh, Hash looking down the inside line on Ryan Rods, but Ryan Rods closed the door. Here we go. Matt Rosie and Jin have caught Jacko. Now, what tire compound did Jacko and Scavney start on is very important. They both started on the softs. So they could potentially try and finish this race on these mediums, but Scavney right now is looking real solid. 2 seconds up the road on Jacko. Jin closing that gap to Jacko. Shelly, what do you think? Matt Rosie might be pushing a little bit too hard here, outbraking himself, and he's nearly allowed Impossible Bacon back within DRS. Here we go. Jin is right on the back of Jacko, and Matt Rosie might even be able to get the overtake on Jacko here, and may actually look down the inside line of Jin. Oh, you can hear him hold off the throttle a little bit, and Matt Rosie closes the door and is able to get back up into 3rd place. Pork, where's Noganator right now in Division 3? P4. Ooh. Damn. Is that like a, he's the only one not to have pitted P4, or is that like a proper P4? Lap old hard. Oh, okay. Ooh, Jacko just falls out of DRS. Now Impossible Bacon just creeping back into it on Jacko. Both are just teetering right on the edge. Same with text-to-speech. And Matt Rosie gets through Jin. What happened to Jin there? I didn't quite catch that. But now Matt Rosie's on the chase. Jin's gonna follow Matt through. And Jin's laps are Jin's tires are 8 lap old. Crash, who did you predict as your podium? So I dropped it left right after. It was P3, stayed off track, and my teammates hit my wing. Got caught up in traffic and wing damage. I declared floor damage doesn't mix well with Eau Rouge. No, Murphy losing it into Eau Rouge as well. Get on board with Smith Pell, and is that going to cause a safety car? You never know with this race, with this game, to be honest. The safety cars are so random. Ray looking to overtake Noga, and there you go. You can see Murphy into the wall. Matt Rosie closing the gap. Going back to your question, Shells the Turtle. What was my predicted podium? Honestly, at the start of the race, I would have taken Matt. Matt for sure. And I honestly probably would have thrown Cake in there. I didn't actually say what I was looking at for a podium, but I probably would have thrown Matt, Cake, and probably text-to-speech, to be honest, was my thought for podium. Matt's just looking like he's on another level tonight. Noga P5. Well, he'll get major points jumping up 2 divisions, won't he, eh? Let's see what Scavney is really bleeding out these mediums. He's got 5 full laps to go here. We're just around turn 1, about to enter Eau Rouge, and whoa, okay. That was close for Matt. Matt's into the slip of Scavney. And he's going to try and go for it here. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That's Texas Speech gone. Scavney holds off, and here we go. Safety car. So we're probably going to see a whole lot of pit and bada bing, bada boom. Let's bring that up. Perfect timing, though, to be quite honest. Oh, what? Okay, supposedly I'm back. What is going on here? And the safety... What just happened? Did this not just... Yeah, what? Are you seeing this? Huh? Okay. Oh my god, that's... Okay, no, that was on me. I hit view report. So it was showing me what just happened. Oh my god, that absolutely shook me. Oh my. That's actually funny. Okay, here we go. Let me get a... Yeah, you're just gonna push me into a... Oh, we'll go back to before. You're gonna push me into like a bully circle or something? We used to do that in high school. It was kind of funny. But we'd only do it to our friends. Like, we wouldn't actually just do it to like a nerd or whatever, no. We'd just like be hanging around in like a circle, whatever it was, like, you know, you do when you're just chatting. I was like a group in high school or whatever. Raised mediums starting to wear. And like just out of nowhere, it was like a random selection too. Just one guy would just select one dude and just throw him into the circle. And it's like, bully circle, and he just gets freaking tossed around, and then it's pretty fun. Pretty funny. But anywho, next week, come back and hang out with us. Where? Yeah, if you haven't heard before, we will be in Portimao. So, a lot of exciting stuff can happen in Portimao, and a lot of good overtaking opportunities, and some treacherous areas show. Be sure to tune in and come hang with myself as per usual, and we'll go through Portimao together and see what division whatever I'm in is doing for that race. And there we go, we are back in Zion Lobby. There we go. Murphy, Texas Beach, now out. Safety car should come in here. We'll take a look at what was to happen in the pits. Cake Thomas and Yolmir did not come in. Scavney had the safety car very much working to his favor. We're going to get lap 20 and 21. Oh no, what? I'm not sure if the safety car will come in this lap, because Will is pitting. So we won't get... Okay, so the rest of this race will be DRS-less. Okay, so Cake Thomas and Yolmir on some old mediums. Pork, did you check out the commands or the MIDI bucks that you can, what you can spend your MIDI bucks on? bet how much quote unquote mini bucks do you even have? You probably have quite a few. $50,000? Oh god, you can make me do so much crap. Shouldn't turn on. But here we go. Safety car should come in here. Bang. Look at that. It's like I've done this before. Will Ans may be able to catch the pack. He actually should be able to. Cake Thomas is going to lead us here. Jacko's in a really good position. Jin with the penalty is going to be hard done by here. Podium is still very open. Scavney is sitting in a very good spot here, so we're going to stay on board with him. Matt Rosie with that 3-second penalty he picked up after the first restart after the safety car may come back to get him in the end. GSR Ryan Rod's all the way back in 11th place, and has had better races, to be quite honest. He hasn't had it go his way this time, but Cake Thomas brings us back over the line. Matt Rosie already trying to go down the inside line on Scavney and breaks extremely deep and already on the back of Yolmir. Scavney gets a really good launch out of turn 1, and Matt Rosie is going to battle him and wheel to wheel up Eau Rouge, and Matt Rosie, having the nuts of steel, gets the job done up into 3rd place. Now he can work on trying to close the gap to Yolmir. And he's into the slipstream, and is he going to go make a move right now? And no, he won't. Yolmir holds off. Cake Thomas breaks away. Cake Thomas looking for his first win in Midwest. Yolmir having somewhat of the cards kind of fall towards him. Now Matt Rose is going to dive down the inside line of turn 8, and he is elbowing his way through, and up into 2nd place he goes. And now he's going to try and work on Cake Thomas. He's got to overtake Cake Thomas and then extend that lead to 3 seconds. Cake is sitting in a really good spot, but now Yolmir is under fire from Scavney, 2 drivers who were in a podium battle here, and a shoey from Cake Thomas would be brilliant. But Matt Rosie's got a lot of work to do if he wants this win here. That 3-second penalty is just absolutely terrible at this moment right now. But he sees Cake Thomas. He's in his slipstream. He's got extremely fast softs on. And oh no, a little bit of lag for Cake is not what you want to see at this position. And come on, Matt, you got to use your ERS, and here he goes into the slipstream, times it very well. Cake Thomas goes to defend the inside line. Cake lets him through. Matt Rosie jumps up into 1st place. Now Matt Rosie's got a huge tire advantage on Cake to try and open up 3 seconds, and Cake has got to try and find some consistent pace. Yolmir, I think he may have caught some damage there. A lot of drivers are going through, and I'd imagine he's got some sort of side pod or underbelly damage. Jacko now jumping up into 3rd place, a potential podium position. Matt Rosie's already opened up a second lead on Cake, and we're not even done sector 1. Cake is not in the slipstream anymore, and now Scavney's got to try and close that gap back down to Cake, but Matt Rosie is just on another level here. Lap 21 of 22, so at least he gets points. But we got Jacko now. Jacko goes right over the turns and now comes out alongside Jin. But Jin's down the inside line, and Jin is going to send it on Jacko. A little bit of contact between the drivers, and some major elbows out racing between those two drivers. We are on the last lap here, and everyone is fighting for his positions, and things are getting real hairy. But we got to look at that lead there. Matt Rosie has nearly put it up to 2 seconds, and he is just about to enter Sector 3. Now, he probably won't be able to gain that much time into Sector 3 as compared to the other ones. Cake's just trying to keep it clean here. But Matt Rosie's got that gap at 2.2 seconds, and oh my god, it's going to be coming real close here. Matt Rosie now having it at 2.3. Cake is using up as much ERS as he can. Matt Rosie, I imagine, is doing so as well. And I don't think there's enough turns left in this track for Matt Rosie to get the job done. Cake Thomas may be coming home with his first ever win in Midwest F1 League. He's got to come around the final turn clean. Matt Rosie is trying to stretch that lead as much as possible. And it looks like Cake Thomas has got the job done. Matt Rosie just did not have enough lap to do it. And Cake Thomas comes home with the win. Matt Rosie, a hard-fought second. Scavney with another third. Elma Jacko fourth. Yolmir fifth. Ryan Rods jumps all the way up to sixth after the penalties and just misses out on fifth, actually. Impossible Bacon in seventh. Detail in eighth. Hash ninth. Sue Wee with the top 10. And we will continue the rest of it after. But oh my goodness gracious, that was quite the finish. We'll just wait for the finishing order here to decide on who the final driver in the interview will be. But yes, a very hard-fought final couple of laps there, and wow, very impressive stuff. Okay, sorry for the typing. But there we go. Cake Thomas over the line for the win. Matt Rosie, another podium finishing second. Scavney, another podium finishing third. Elma Jacko fourth. Yolmir fifth. Ryan Rods sixth. Impossible Bacon seventh. Detail eighth. Hash ninth. Suey, like I said earlier, rounding out the top 10. Smith Pell in 11th. Aero Racing Design 12th. Will Ands in 13th. Jinnit to win it in 14th. JC Blackley 15th place. Ooh, reminder, the EPOS 600 series headsets are $50 off right now, so go check that link out in the chat there. Super NES in 16th, Texas Speech, Murphy Sully, Dace, and Helg, all with the DNFs. And like I said earlier, DNFs ever so important this season, and you don't want to get too many of those. Man, I can even hear my chair creaking in this mic. Fastest lap went to Matt Rosie, and yeah, the only driver to go in the 143s, and it showed that guy was just on some sort of pace today. Alright, so we're just waiting for everyone to get into the interviews here. Actually, no, let's bring up the race director. So Cake Thomas going softs to mediums to get the win done. Matt Rosie going soft, medium, hard. Or soft, hard, soft. And Matt Rosie just said that the McLaren garage both sewered the McLaren drivers. They both got mediums or hards that they did not want. So in Matt Rosie and Smith Pell, you can see their second stint being hards. That was not by choice. Scavney going the soft, medium, soft, with Jacko going the soft, medium, soft as well. And Smith Pell, Aero Racing Design, after pitting 4 times, was still able to get 12th place after all was said and done. Just waiting for the drivers to get in for the interviews. You're Matt, you're already in the chat. Matt, hello? Hello? Can they not hear me, Discord? Hello? Can you guys hear me now? Hello? They can't hear me in Discord. What's going on here? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Oh, what the hell? That was weird. Okay. Sorry. Impossible, I heard you. Matt, I heard you. Scavney, did you say something? Scavney? Okay, you're here. Cake? Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. Great freaking race. Great ending, guys. Well done. Kind of a crazy one with the safety cars that came into play. Cake, first win in Division 1, am I right? Yeah, several podiums, but couldn't finally get onto the top step, and has done it here in Spa. Very well done. I'm going to congratulate everyone first. Very well done by everyone. Impossible Bacon, even you getting the can't hear them, bro hammer. Piss off. Oh my god, I'm going to shoot someone. Christ. What is it again? Is that it? Can you guys just start making noises? Test. Yeah, okay, I see it.
Testing.
The test is real.
Low. So you can hear them, but they're low. Better. Okay. Cool. I fixed it. I done did it. Okay.
Crush.
Yeah. No, you know, I'm getting better at this. Get better. But okay, on to Cake. We'll get right to it, man. First win in Midwest after all these races you've gone through. How does it feel?
Feels great. I honestly didn't know what was going to happen on that last safety car restart. I was hoping everyone was going to pit because I was not going into pit no matter what, because I really wanted to take a risk and everyone in front of me pit. Then I was really worried that I was going to get overtaken. I got overtaken by Matt, and then I kind of just like backed off a little bit to try to not get passed by the car behind as well. I don't remember who it was, but then I just pushed flat out on that last lap to try to stay in that 3-second window to get the win. So definitely very, very happy to finally get it.
Yeah, it was it was quite the battle. Came down right to the end. How much tire did you have left on those mediums there?
I was under 50. I think the fronts maybe were in the mid 40s, and then the rears were in the 30s, I believe.
So how much does Spa wear the mediums? Because I thought maybe Matt might have gotten a glitch, but it actually looked to have really kind of benefited him at one point. Like he was really looking good on those hards. So I didn't know if maybe the mediums really fall off, but you can go one stopper here.
When I was doing my like data collecting during the week, I was able to do like 18 laps comfortably on the mediums, and that was with a couple spins. So I was thinking that you could probably take them the whole race if you get an early safety car, but they definitely start wearing out, and once they're worn out, they definitely don't have a lot of grip left.
Okay. So now, if I were to tell you that you would win a race this season, would you have picked Spa?
Believe it or believe it or not, that was actually one of the races that I had circled as a potential win.
Oh.
I mean, obviously, once the race starts, I go in with a more realistic sense of like a top 10, top 5, but this was definitely one of them that I had circled on the list for a potential win. Glad I could get it done.
Now, the head honcho, of course, Pork, being the man of the league that only answers to God himself, is demanding a shoey from you.
Shoey?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know, man. I follow the rules. I don't like to annoy him. I think you should do it.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. I'll see if I can make one happen. Maybe I'll drink a Red Bull out of my Puma shoe or something.
Raise energy.
I'll raise energy, sorry.
Okay, well, we'll see. Keep us posted on that. If you do it, what's going up on the YouTube channel? Let it be known.
Alright, absolutely.
Okay, well done, man. Best of luck next week in Portugal. So, yeah, good job. Good stuff. Congratulations again. All right, Mr. Rosie. I think I've asked this before. Rosie's your last name, right? Or is it not? It's not.
Part of my last name.
Yeah, okay. So what's the full last name? Rosinovic? Civitovich?
Rosenzweig.
What?
Rosenzweig.
Rosenzweig?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's that? Where's that from?
It's German. Austrian.
Oh, you're a squarehead too.
A little bit.
I am squarehead as well. My actual last name is Schroeder, but it's not my last name because my German great grandmother married a Canadian soldier after World War II and moved to Canada.
See, I was on the opposite side of World War II. I was in the chambers. Well, not me personally.
Oh.
I don't think you the fam, you know.
All right. Well, a little bit of history in the Midwest F1 League, but yeah. So you're charging down second place, or first place from second place. You get Cake Thomas in the overtake on a brilliant move. Obviously, you had a major tire advantage. Now, on a scale of an espresso shot to a cracked out squirrel, what was your rating on how cracked you were on that final lap to try and gain those 3 seconds back?
I think I was closer to cracked out squirrel, but I wasn't really sure.
No,
I didn't think I thought there was a possibility of 3 seconds, just because I felt like I had so much pace around here, and unfortunately I wasn't able to show it for most of the race. But I mean, 3 seconds is a hell of a lot to pull out in one lap. Came close, 2/10, but
yeah. Oh my God, Cake didn't as well. He didn't make a mistake either, and
no, I was hoping you. No offense, Cake. I'm happy you got your first win, but I was kind of hoping for the win myself. But you know. Congratulations, of course. And I mean, one guy that's been so consistent deserves it.
Yeah, exactly that. Exactly. But now you said, and I mentioned it, I saw your message in chat earlier that you got sewered by the pit glitch. Both McLaren drivers got sewered. Now, I imagine you're going to have some sort of conversation with Zach Brown, but I did mention that it didn't actually look to really hurt you that much. I mean, at some point it looked like the mediums kind of tailed off a little bit for some of those drivers, and you had a pace advantage at one point right before the safety car hit. It was about like a lap and a bit where you really showed the pace advantage on the drivers on the mediums. Did you actually feel that, or or am I just twisted?
The tires were terrible.
Oh, okay, so I'm just twisted. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, actually, they got us 3 times. It got me on the hards when I chose mediums, Cake on the hards when he chose mediums, and then Cake on the mediums when he chose softs.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
sorry, not Cake, Smith Bell.
Oh, my. So absolute chaos in the McLaren
I
garage.
don't know what was happening,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, you made it work in the end, Smith Pell. Okay, actually, now I need to bring this up as well. Smith, do you feel like he held you up at that one
No,
point?
I told him, I knew he was pitting that lap, and I didn't really have that much more pace than him anyway. Like, I told him just to stay in front.
Okay, fair enough. I thought...
Also, there wasn't really anywhere safe to pass at that point, so where he wouldn't get overtaken by the car behind me as well, right? So.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I thought that maybe Smith was kind of holding you off a little bit. I wasn't yelling at Smith, but I was like, dude, come on. But okay, team orders, that's fine. But yeah, well done on another podium, man. Heading into Portimao, what do we expect from you there?
One of my favorite tracks. Hopefully it goes well, but every time I say that, I come in second, so we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Okay, sounds good, man. Congratulations on another podium again.
Thank you. Just want to say a quick congrats to Cake as well, and to Scavney. Hell of a race. I was rooting for one of them to win their first one, but only one can
Thanks,
win.
man. I
Unfortunately.
appreciate it.
Anytime. All right, GG's, boys.
Well done again, Matt. But here we go. On to Scavney. Now becoming some sort of a usual here on the podium. Now this one, this third place isn't as heartbreaking as the other podiums that you got. You did have somewhat of a shout, but you kind of saw Matt Rosie's pace. Like, what was that like, kind of battling against?
Yeah, I knew towards the end of my medium stint, I could tell he definitely had the pace on me. So I was just planning on hoping to stick within his DRS and just try to drag me along at least to second place, maybe even a win. Then the safety car came out, completely changed everything, and it was just a mad dash to the end. But I knew he definitely had the pace on me, so I wasn't too bothered that he got by, but definitely a good race.
Yeah, brilliant race from you. The safety car, that last one, kind of helped you out, to be honest. It brought you... Where were you before the safety car? Because didn't you gain some positions from it? From the pit?
The final safety car, I was in P1. I was debating the entire in-lap whether it would be, especially being the lead car, having to decide, and at the very last second decided to go in. I thought the softs would have more of an advantage. It turns out they didn't. I couldn't get the tires to kick in on the restart. So I think it would have been a tough ask to hold out, especially because those mediums have been going since lap 1.
Yeah, because you came in initially on the... Okay, yeah, your strategy is coming back to me now. So it was kind of a weird strategy, really, and I think Jacko was on the same strategy as you. You guys were kind of a tandem throughout that entire race, right?
Yeah, we were kind of running the same strategy. I knew the first safety car. I knew that the mediums could make it to the end. I knew that window would allow us to jump anyone else pitting later, and I was just going to hope that they could last to the end. But that safety car really threw a wrench in things. But I mean, hindsight's 20/20. Maybe we would have held on if we stayed out. But I mean, if I stay out, everything else changes. So it's a tough call.
Yeah, and I mean, just it worked out for you in the end. So I'm happy that you got another podium. You're really bringing a good name to the race pace kind of mentality, starting 12th this race. So how's your qualifying actually? How confident were you in what you were able to put out for time there?
Not at all. I was not. I didn't feel comfortable pushing the limits at certain corners because I had quite a lot of spins earlier on, and I mean I lost my entire first run at the end of sector 2. So the end was just about keeping it clean and getting a solid time on the board. I knew things were going to go wild in the race, so I wasn't too bothered by it.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah, looking at what happened, only three drivers in the top 5 of qualifying even finished in the top 10. So I mean, that just shows you how crazy this race was. But yeah,
it's one thing to have one lap pace, but I mean race pace, racecraft, that's a whole different thing.
yeah, very true, very true. And a lot of people in this league, new to racing, definitely learn that over time. So yeah, you're one of those that really proves that point. So yeah, well done again on a podium, man, and best of luck in Portimao.
Thank you.
No worries. All right, Mr. Bacon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you got the hardest charger here, starting 14th and finishing 7th. Now, 14th on the grid for starting, I imagine, is not where you were hoping to start. What went wrong for you?
I was giving Will tow, and then I had traffic behind and had to get off the line, and there was so much, and I spent too much time off. And it invalidated me for both laps.
So Gunther put Will as the #1 driver for today.
I put Will as #1 driver. I knew
Well,
he had a lot more pace than me.
So do you know exactly what went bad in his race? Because he's back down to 13th, where you ended up finishing 7th.
I actually don't remember.
No, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Okay, so what led you to gaining 7 positions today then?
Strategy. Apart from the end, but strategy. I was in a decent position. And then that first VSC, or safety car, whatever it was, came out. And all the soft runners came in. I was like, well, I can pit as well, man. And then, yeah.
Yeah, so did you even get up any higher than 7th place this entire race, to be honest? I can't say I remember you being up in the top 5 at any point.
I was running behind Jacqueline Scavney for quite a long time, and then Text and everyone that had pitted beforehand caught up.
Okay. But, I mean, consistency pays off. Yeah, you went to soft, medium, soft like a lot of the other drivers. But what's your confidence level that was heading into this race in Spa? You saying that Will was kind of the #1 driver through your decision, I guess. But was it just a lack of confidence kind of heading here?
Me and Will had a race here, I think last Sunday or Saturday. And I crashed out and he didn't. So I was like, okay.
So you kind of got it as default then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have that much confidence, so I was like, fuck it. If one of us is going to finish, there's going to be someone higher. So.
Okay. Fair enough. So are you happy with how the Haas team has been producing points so far?
For the season, yes. This race, no.
Well, of course, I can imagine it.
This race didn't go quite to plan with that last safety car.
You know what?
Right.
AlphaTauri are your direct competitors right now. You are 25 points back, and with Dace spinning and JC Blackley finishing 15th or 16th, you guys should be able to overtake them. So you know what? It's there's some worse results. You should move up a spot in the constructor standings. So
some good news, I guess.
I always look for an excuse to drink, so that is just enough of one for me. So I'll celebrate for you tonight, okay?
I mean, I got very lucky to not DNF.
Oh, why did you say that? I might not have caught that.
Hash went for an overtake on me down Camel Straight, and so did Text. And at some point, Text's car decided it wanted to turn 90 degrees into mine and smash directly into me at like 160 on the straight.
That's not ideal.
No. And then that's what caused the last safety car. So
now I always feel that luck balances out, and I also have a strong opinion on how I hate wasting luck. I hate wasting luck on on a time that I didn't need that luck. Do you feel like that's one of those situations where you did not need that luck to come through today?
No, I needed that luck.
Okay, fair enough.
I've DNF'd the last race. I haven't had a good week, apart from on Saturday. So, I
Okay.
mean, I needed the good luck.
Now, do you kind of understand what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
It's a little bit wasted, but at the same time, it's not. I'd rather it be a win.
like, it actually makes me physically angry sometimes when I get lucky on something that I don't need it on, because I feel like I just wasted luck for another time.
Can't really control the luck you get though.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, it all evens out in a way, right? I mean, to a point. So, I mean, why not have the good luck when you could use it, like this Super Bowl, where I've got a free $20 from Bet365, and I threw it all on a 9-way parlay. So that'd be some great luck. So, anywho, wish me luck, as well as best of luck in Portimao there, Impossible. Thanks for coming in again.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. But anywho, any final words from the drivers before I boot you out of here? Any shout-outs? Any birthdays coming up? Anyone want to compliment me at all?
Your mic sounds sexy.
Oh, thank you very much. Do you actually tell that it's clearer?
Yeah, it's much better
Ooh,
than what it was.
good.
But I mean,
You have a top 2 hockey pool team.
Oh, thank you very much, Matt. That is so kind. No,
problem.
especially
Just
because
top 2 though.
the top 2. Hey, you're losing ground, buddy, so you better watch it. I'm catching you. Okay, but anywho, thanks guys for coming in. Best of luck in Portimao. I'm gonna boot you out now.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too, bud. All right, and that's all she wrote for the interviews. Let's get rid of that. Let's become a little bit more personal here. Open this up, and hey, there you go. Look at bigger crash. But yeah, another good race. And you know what? I'm actually glitched in this lobby. So if you forget what happened, we can go back through the results, because I've been out in the lobby for about a half an hour here. But hey, for the last time, you can see Cake Thomas with the win, Matt Rosie second, Scavney third, Elma Jacko in fourth. Big finish from him. Yolmir fifth, Ryan Rods in sixth. Impossible Bacon just recently had an interview in seventh. Detail eighth, Hash ninth, Subi in the top 10. In the back half, Smith Pell, Aero Racing Design, after finding some troubles, is able to get back up into 12th. Will Anns in the second, Haas today. Jinnit Twinnett in 14th, JC Blackley 15th. Super Ninas in the final finishing position in 16th. And DNFs went to text-to-speech, Murfancelli, Dace, and Helg. So, of course, it is going to be we stand with the truckers in Canada. All right, Pork, zip it. Oh, God. Oh, those guys are just, whatever. You just tilted me. Okay, that's it. Everyone have a good weekend. Thank you once again for tuning in. And hopefully enjoy the weekend that is to come. And stay safe, and go check out YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. And yeah, as per usual, I've been Crash McQueen. We've been in the F1 League. I'm not going to get political, but good night.